We all have places that are just kind of tough to get anything to grow, and I've got some suggestions today for tough plants for those tough places. Now, all of the plants that I'm discussing today just have very few insect problems. You just won't have to worry about spraying and watching out for insects with them. One of the toughest is the cast iron plant, and this plant is aptly named. Now, it does like shade. It will tend to bleach out a bit if it's in too much sun, but it's really good for those dry, shady spots. It doesn't really care for too much water. And if the leaves start to look a little battered or a little brownish, just cut them to the ground. New ones will come. This one also can be an indoor plant as well, but it's one that you just don't want to water very often at all. And if you've got a dark, shady spot where nothing else will grow, the cast iron certainly will. And it's evergreen for us, although I do cut it back quite hard in the spring and get some new growth. Now, another one that is just tough as nails is the flame acanthus or Acanthus. It really is very drought tolerant. Doesn't need a rich soil at all. Deer don't tend to like it, and hummingbirds love it. You'll get orange flowers almost all year long. It can be a bit invasive, but just cut the plant back several times in the year to control the seeding of the plant, and you won't have it coming up all over. But it's really a great plant. Another one that I really love, it's a fairly new introduction from South Africa, is the bulbine. And it comes in this yellow form. There's also an orange form, and they're both really lovely and bloom just about all year long. Now, occasionally they'll start to get a little crowded, and you might have to cut them back and replant them and thin them out a bit, but they really are tough as nails. Wet or dry, sun or shade, it just doesn't really matter. Another great one is the society garlic. There is a variegated form, also the green form. The flowers are edible. Does smell a bit like garlic, but if you've got an area next to the sidewalk or a pot that's in a sunny area or even a shady area, this society garlic will grow in very narrow spots against rock walls. It's just really great. Another ground cover plant that's a Texas native and very tough is the frog fruit. And this is a verbena family member that just trails all over the ground. You can walk on it, you can mow it. It will grow in sun or shade, wet or dry. I've seen this growing in asphalt and cracks in the concrete sidewalk. So it's really a tough plant, and it grows easily from cuttings as well. The Zechs Mini is one of my favorites for alongside a driveway, that little bit narrow strip bed at the street, or in containers where you're in the hot, hot sun. Zechs Mini will bloom for you all summer long and has a great flower that is attractive to butterflies and is just really a terrific plant. It will seed itself and come up too, and it's easy to collect the seeds and start it from seed. Another one that I love is the Foxtail Fern. It will grow in sun or shade and wet or dry. It does sometimes tend to have some freeze damage in harder winters, but if you just cut those freeze damaged plumes back and let it grow again, it's great. I like it in container plants. I often plant purple oxalis underneath it or sweet potato vines with it, and it's just a stunning container for those tough shady spots where you can't get anything else to grow. So these are some of the tough plants that you can grow in tough places in your yard, and there are many more, so I hope you'll continue to experiment to find the right plant for the right spot in your garden.